Hi everyone, welcome to my English class of 10. Today we are going to learn a new poem. The name of the poem is Animals, which is written by American poet Walt Whitman. The main idea of this poem is that the poet is trying to compare the life of animals with the lives of human beings. He is of the view that man lacks virtues that animals have. He feels more comfortable in the company of animals since he believes that human beings are selfish, false, and always dissatisfied. On the other hand, animals are unselfish, truthful, and they are more satisfied. And through this poem, the poet is basically saying it's better to live with animals than to be with human beings. Before reading the poem, now let's know something about the poet. The poet you can see here, Walt Whitman. The poem Animal is written by Walt Whitman. He was an American poet, government clerk, essayist, and journalist. He was also a teacher. He is often called as the father of free verse. What does free verse mean? Free verse means that there is no rhyme scheme to his poetry. So he wrote poetry without a rhyme scheme. The poem Animals is taken from Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. Now, let's see what exactly he is trying to tell us through this beautiful poem Animals. So now, let's move on to the poem. The poet says that I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Here, the words turn means transform. Placid means peaceful, calm, or not easily upset or excited. Self contained means self satisfied. So we can see from the first stanza of this poem what is Walt Whitman trying to tell us. He is trying to express his deep desire of transforming himself and to live with the animals. Why does he want to live with the animals? He wants to do that because he finds the world of animals is better than the world of human beings. He wants to live with the animals because they are so placid, peaceful, and calm. That means they are not easily excited and they are not easily upset also because they are not running after worldly things or material world like human beings are doing. They are calm and have no greed for anything or any kind of achievements. They are self contained, means that they are self satisfied with what they have, and they do not interfere in the matters of others. But what human beings are doing? They are trying to interfere in the lives of others. That is what the poet is saying here that animals are better than human beings. Here, obviously, the poet is trying to compare these qualities of animals as supposed to be the human, as supposed to the same qualities that he doesn't find in human beings. He is saying here that human beings, on the other hand, is never contented. They are never happy with what they have. They are easily become happy and easily upset. These are some of the reasons why he wanted to live with the animals. I stand and look at them long and long. Here, the poet says that he is so fascinated and impressed by these qualities of animals. That is why he stands and look at them and gaze at them for a long time. Now, let's look at the literary devices used in this stanza. So you can see in the first and second lines, the first word I is repeated in the beginning of these two adjacent lines, that is called anaphora. You can see in the line, I stand and look at them long and long. First figure of speech is in the line is alliteration. Here you can see the sound of letter L is repeated in the words look and long. Of course, you can also see the repetition in this line. The words long and long have been repeated. Now, let's move on to the next stanza. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Now, here the word sweat, you can say the word sweat. Now, we know sweat means to perspire. Here, the word sweat means to become anxious about something. Whine, you can see the word whine in this stanza. It means complain or cry. Make me sick means to disgust. Demented means behaving in a way of madness. Mania means a sort of craze. Through these lines, the poet says that the animals they do not sweat and whine. That means they do not complain about the things that they don't have, like human beings. They may be sad, they may be helpless, but unlike human beings, they do not complain or cry about their condition. They are happy with whatever they have. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. Most importantly, they do not lie awake in the night. Most of the human beings, if they have done any sin, they don't get sleep at night. So they stay awake for a long time, either by thinking about their wrongdoings or sins that they have done in their past, or thinking about what they want to do in the future. And therefore, for so many reasons, human beings are awake because we have regret or guilt over something we have done, or we are worried about the future. But on the other hand, animals don't have such worries. They don't think about their ambitions in the future. They are not at all worried about what they did in the past. That's why he says animals have a better life. They don't stay awake thinking about the past or worrying about the future just like humans do. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God, which means that the poet says here the animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. Because human beings are trying to show their good deeds to others. Human beings are always discussing what God wants and what God wants us to do. But animals just lead a simple life. They are not selfish, they just live peacefully without worrying each other. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Here the poet is saying, look at these animals. They are not crazy about things. They don't want to own things. They are not demented with the idea. Means they are not mad about owning things. They are not obsessed with things. And that is why they are not dissatisfied. They stay happy with whatever they have. But on the other hand, every single human being is obsessed with the things. They are demented or mad of owning things. They are always behind worldly things. They always try to possess things one after the other. That's why it is said that they are dissatisfied with whatever they have. Now, let's look at the poetic devices used in this stanza. See, the use of they do not at the start of adjacent lines is called anaphora. So we can see the poetic device used here is anaphora. Then the next one here is metaphor. Sweat and wine refers to the cries and complaints of human beings. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. Here the words kneels means to bow down on one's knees. Kneeling also means to show a sort of respect. Here the word respectable means too happy and satisfied. So what are these lines telling us? That animals they don't bow down in front of the others. They never kneel down to their ancestors or to any other animals like what human beings are doing. They never kneel down to their ancestors like what human beings are doing. They don't bother about showing each other respect. They are not even bothered about their ancestors. No one among animals is more respectable or important as we human beings have. In our society, rich people are getting more importance and they are treated with more respect. Some people are given more importance and some are given less importance. So he says that there is discrimination in our society. But on the other hand, among animals, they never have respect to any kind of animals and they never give any of importance to any other one among them. They consider everyone is equal. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. Here the poet says that the animals are more honest in showing their relations with the other animals. They are true to their character. But human beings are not like that. They show that they are nice and friendly to others, but the reality is opposite. They pretend or act in front of others that they are very friendly, but inside of them is really opposite to that. Here the poet accepts the truth that the animals are honest towards showing their relation with the other animals. Now let's look at the poetic devices used here. That is, anaphora, by using the words not one at the start of adjacent lines. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Here the word evince means to show, possession means something you own. Here the word tokens means the virtues like compassion, innocence, simplicity, etc. Negligently means carelessly. Here the poet is saying that they bring me the tokens of myself. These tokens means qualities of compassion, humility, simplicity, or innocence. All these qualities are there in the animal, and when I interact with them, I can see these qualities are there still in them. Here, the poet is introspecting, means he is trying to study himself, trying to examine himself, and understand what happened to his own qualities. And he is wondering where the animals got these qualities. Therefore, he is always wondering where did he lose these qualities. He says that as a human being, I must have had these qualities too. But through the journey of life, when I was growing into an adult, somewhere I lost those qualities. And now I can see it in animals. And I'm wondering where did I lose those qualities carelessly in my path to become a human being that I am today. So the poet is making a comment on the civilization of human beings. That is what happened to us. Surely we should have the qualities like humility, compassion, innocence, simplicity, etc. But somewhere we forgot about these qualities. Today, those qualities we can see in these animals, and obviously the poet admires them. Now, let's look at the figure of speech used here. You can see metaphor. The inner qualities of human beings are referred to as tokens. In the line, plainly in their possession, where you can see the sound of p is repeated, and therefore we have alliteration there.